Welcome to an out-of-the-box preview video. Today I am looking at Pages Underboss. This is a print and play roll and write game that has come to Kickstarter, and I have been provided with this preview file in order to make this video. Pages Underboss is a game where you are the owner of a dungeon filled with treasure, and there's a whole lot of pesky adventurers coming to attack your creatures in your dungeon and steal all your treasure. And so the aim of the game is to minimize your losses from these adventurers. So this is a reversal of the Dungeon Pages. So if you've not seen Dungeon Pages is a game where you play a hero that goes through a set of dungeons, killing monsters, collecting treasure, and upgrading your character. And one of the neat things about the Dungeon Pages was that there were lots of characters and there were lots of dungeons, and that these could be mixed and matched, so you could do different characters across the different dungeons. And it was released as a course set with I think 4 or 6, and then there was a year long. And so there was multiple maps, and I backed that project, and I've got a year long worth of characters, and it's a great game. And you fill in the dungeons as you complete things, and you upgrade your character, and it's got this real great sense of progression. So Dungeon Pages Underboss swaps that around, and you are the owner of these dungeons. And so the way that the game works is there's some very similar elements to Dungeon Pages. You're using white dice and black dice. Your dungeons tell you which dice you're going to be using, and the aim of the game is to survive the adventurers getting through your 3 dungeons. Before you start, you have your boss, and you have a shape that determines where you will be in each of your dungeons. So you do each dungeon one at a time. You put your shape in the dungeon, and each dungeon has a set of crystals that allows you to buy initial abilities which you populate in your shape, and if adventurers fall on those squares, then you can resolve those abilities, and you take those through dungeon to dungeon, so you get more powerful potentially as you get to the last dungeon. So that makes it exciting. With your characters, you roll the oops, I just lost the dice. Stay with me. I'm back. You roll your dice, and each character, each of these adventurers has a number. And if you hit if you roll a particular character, they will move either sideways or downward from the doorway if they're not already in the dungeon. If they're in the dungeon, they will follow their path through and land on the next empty space, so they won't land on any walls, and that kind of wraps around either down or sideways. They will then have an ability that allows them to either attack your monsters or attack you as the boss. They will collect treasure, and they have health. So then in your turn, you use your black dice to either trigger off abilities to try and attack the adventurers, or you have monsters, and if you've got the right dice, you can populate and have monsters attack the different adventurers. You can set traps that either attack in a column or in a row, which you can then, when adventurers land on them, they get attacked and they lose health. When the adventurers lose all their health, they get crossed off, and the aim is to minimize the treasure that they've collected by killing off the adventurers. You also have health, because at their turn, when they attack, they might attack adjacent or diagonally, or some of them have got ranged attacks, and they'll take out monsters. But also, if they are in range of your pattern, they'll attack you. If they're in range of the actual you put like an X or a star where you are, then you take double the damage, well, take an extra damage point. So there's a lot going on. There's a green path. When the green path is completely full, the adventurers as a group have completed that dungeon, and they will move on to the next one. So you have to be a little bit careful about where you place your creatures in your traps, because if you fill up all the green ones, that's the end of the dungeon, and they'll move on, and then things get more difficult. It's probably easiest if you see in the game itself. I've got one map, but the interesting thing about the maps is I've noticed is that there's this kind of serrated line with the bosses, the dungeons, and the groups of heroes, because there's a lot of heroes in dungeon pages, and so I speculate that there's going to be a lot of different maps, a lot of different bosses, and a lot of different combinations of characters that you'll be able to mix and match. So the replayability of this will be much like dungeon pages, absolutely massive. Anyway, let's start. So the first thing we've got to do is, when we set up, is we have to look at, we're going to start with this one, the crypt, and I'm going to have 1 white dice and 2 black dice, which is kind of handy because it means that only 1 character will move per turn. If you roll a 6, no character moves, so that's super good for me. Then I see that I have got 4 crystals, and I populate my crystals as abilities. So I could have a rune, and a rune allows me to cross out a shade, which is one of my creatures, to prevent 1 damage and deal 1 damage back to the attacker. For a cost of 1, I can have a slash, and that can be activated on a 6. I kind of like those, so I'm going to put 1 here, and I'll put 1 here. And you'll see why that's important, because you put your abilities on your boss, and when you draw your shape, that then it's like an overlay of where you are in that particular dungeon, and that stays with you. At no cost, I can have a bash, which allows me to do 1 damage, but if I fill too many bashes up, I won't be able to put more interesting things with the crystals that I'm going to get later on. So I am going to put 1 bash in though, because if someone lands next to me, it'd be quite good to be able to hit them. And armor, maybe I'll put a rune in. I'll have to cross out a shade, but sometimes if you've got your creatures that are in a place that they can't attack from, you might as well cross them out. So let's stick a rune. I'll put it up here. Hopefully that'll be out of the way. So that's my 4. Do I want to take another bash? No, I'm going to keep the slashes. Slashes are great because when you do 1 damage, but you also do bleed, which means the hero takes extra damage, but you can only activate it on a 6 on your dice, so it's kind of expensive and they have to be in the right place. Anyway, so I'm set up my boss. Now I have to put him somewhere in my here, and we can put him anywhere, but I don't want to cover any of the green ones. What do I could do? Let's put him down the bottom. Let's keep it simple. So I'm going to put him, but I have to make sure that I don't put him somewhere that the bash or a slash is next to a wall. So I'm going to put him here, which means he is going to actually, well, it's actually she, isn't it? Fallen Knight, Thera. She is going to be like this. Okay, so that's where I am, and there are my abilities. I'm pretty much good to go, because I don't get to put any traps or gargoyles in until the first turn. So I roll the dice, and off we go. So I'm going to move those out of the way, because we'll deal with those in a minute. We get a 3. So a 3 is going to be Gloria. Gloria is a warrior, and we'll move 2 from the start door. 1, 2. Because there's nothing else there, we put a 3 there that represents her current position. I have no traps to activate, so that's not going to happen. The turn that she enters the dungeon, she attacks any threats within 2 spaces. I am within 2 spaces. So, and she attacks with 2 adjacent. And so I'm going to take 2 damage. Because even though there's a wall in the way, she's still, it's not line of sight. So I'm going to take 2 damage, which isn't a great start. Okay, but now I've got my turn. So you can buy monsters and you can place them. So I could use a 2 and a 3. I have to have any 2. I could buy a shade, or a 2 and a 3. I could buy a gargoyle. And you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to buy... It's tricky though, because if I buy a gargoyle and then she moves, she'll kill it. But someone else might move. But if I put a gargoyle there, I'll go for the attack. Why not? So I'm going to use my first dice to plant a gargoyle here. And when it lands, it does an attack. So you've got a range, it does adjacent, it does 1 damage. So Gloria's going to take a hit. And I'm going to spend the second dice to activate the same gargoyle to attack again. Because we've got to start somewhere. Then we would look at the rows and the columns to see whether Gloria collects anything. And she doesn't. And that's it. That's a turn. And we're off. Oh, that's really bad for me. Because Gloria's activated again. So she's going to go 1, 2, and that space is free. So she'll quite happily go there. And she will attack for a 2 and adjacent. So she's going to kill off my gargoyle. I have no traps. She will collect a key, which is points that we will lose because she's collecting treasure. Then it's my turn. I've got a 6 and a 5. She's too far away to attack. For a 6, I can do a poison dart. When a hero is in this row, I'm going to put poison dart in, but I have to be careful because if I put it in I don't want to put it in the green one because that's the exit condition. I don't want to put it there. Maybe I'll put it here. So I'll put a poison here. So if anyone lands in that row, that's a trap, which will get them. And then I've got a 5. So I could do another gargoyle. Oh, why not? I'll put a gargoyle here. Oh, but I don't want to put it really on a green one. But I can't use it anyways. I could put it somewhere else. I could put it down here. That might be a good place. Actually, if I put it here, I don't want to put it there. If I put it there, that'll be where my slash is, so that would be bad. Because you've got to think about where they might land. I'm going to do it very basically. And I don't want to put it on a green one. I'm going to put it here, on the off chance that that'll be helpful later on. Okay. Let's get something different. Oh, a 2. Excellent. So a 2 is Zufflin. And he's going to go down. So now he's on the board with a 1. And you roll the dice. If I get a 5 or 6, he will do a 2 damage to anyone within 2 places. And I get a 6, he fires whatever he is, a fireball. He does 2 damage to enemies within 3 spaces. So that's going to hit me. It's not going to hit the gargoyle. 2, 3. So I'm going to take 2 damage. So I'm getting hammered. Okay. He's not going to get hit by my trap. So I should have put a trap up there. Maybe I'll do that now. But I've got poison darts or 3 or a 6. If I want to attack him, I'll put a gargoyle. Let's attack him. Put a gargoyle there. He can take 1, and then I'll activate it again. He can take another hit. You got to start chipping away at the heroes. Okay. Oh, Gloria is off again. So if my gargoyle hadn't been killed, I could quite happily keep on attacking one of the other adventurers. But she's off again. So now this is where it'll be interesting because she moves 2. So she'll go 1, 2, and then you have to find the next free space. So she's actually going to end up here. Which I've got my poison dart, but that only works on a row. If it had been a chopping blade, that would have been fantastic. Anyway, she is going to attack adjacent, which is no one. So she'll do nothing. So that's handy. She will pick up, though, the gem and the potion. So she's collecting the set. My turn. I've got 2 2s. Ah, okay, so I can activate this Gargoyle twice and then 2 damage to just Finn, which I think I'm going to do. Okay, and then that's next turn. Oh, someone new's coming into the dungeon. It's going to get busy. So 4 is Flynn. Thief, he goes 3. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and that is empty. And he is a 4. But he's next to my Gargoyle, which could be good. He gains the next item that he has not collected yet. Oh, even better. He's in a row with my poison. So my poison is going to trigger. Heroes with poison take 1 damage when they activate. So we've got a thing down here that's called status effects. So he's going to take a P for poison. Then his ability will kick off. So he gets the next item that he hasn't collected, which is funny because that's in the row he would have collected it anyway, but that's just tough for him. Then he's going to attack 1 in a column. So he would attack across that whole column, which is unfortunate for me because that's where my Gargoyle is. So my Gargoyle gets killed, which is a bit sad. He's outside my sphere of influence, so that's not going to help. And what have I got? I've got a 2 and a 6. I could put a chopping blade in. You may be able to do that. I'm going to use my 2 to put a chopping blade down here because they attack in a column. And there's lots of opportunities for that trap to go off. And then I've got a 6, which I could activate a Gargoyle. I could put down a new Gargoyle. I could put down a Gargoyle here. And then he would attack Finn for 1. And we're done. Okay, 2 is a Finn is going to move down 1. So he's there, so we go 1, and because there's no space, he will then go up to here. So that's gone, which is pretty good because he's now in the column with my chopping blade. So I have to roll the dice. If I get 1 to 4, he takes a damage. I get a 3, so he can take a damage with my spinning blades, which is great. Then we roll the dice for him to see whether his magic goes off. He gets a 4, so it doesn't. So he's done. I've got 2 dice now, and he's in a good position. I might be able to kill him off. That would be even funnier. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a Gargoyle here, and it'll do 1 damage. And then I'm going to use the other dice to trigger that same Gargoyle. Yeah, he is dead. Excellent. Bye-bye, Zafin. And it's the end of the turn. So that's 1 pesky adventurer gone. Oh, here comes Gloria. So Gloria moves 2. So she will go 1, 2. Oh, she's in my space. And she will attack adjacent, so that's going to hit me because she's in there. She will attack for 2. But, oh, so she's, where is she? She's at the top. So she's in my R, which is my rune cost. And I don't have any shades. It's a real shame that that wasn't a slash because I've got a 6. That would be very good. But she is next to, oh, how does she attack actually? She attacks 2 adjacent, so she'll kill the Gargoyle as well. Oh, but she got hit with the chopping blade, so I should have rolled for that. Where's my chopping blade? My chopping blade is 1 to 4. And I get a 3, so she can take a damage from that. I've got a 3 and a 6. I haven't done much. I like my Gargoyles. So if I put a Gargoyle there, no one will be able to land there, so I won't be able to use my special ability, which would be a shame. But it will do 2 damage, so I'm going to go for it. And it's going to attack her for 2. 1 with each dice. One for landing it, and the other one for activating it. Okay. Oh, 2. Okay, so we get a 2, and because the Finn is gone, it bumps to the next one. So Gloria's off again, and she will move 2. So she will go 1, 2, and then go to the next free one. So she's going to actually hit that one, which is another annoying one because it's not next to me. And even worse, Oh, she's in a row with poison though. Take 1 damage. I have to roll into 4 though. I've got a 4, so she is poisoned. Excellent. And then she will activate and do attack for 2 adjacent, which is me. So I'm going to actually take 3, which isn't great. So yeah, that's not looking good. But I've got these. But she is right in one of my blind spots, so that's unhelpful. But she is next to a gargoyle, which I can activate twice, and I will. That's 2 damage to her. Okay. I'll get a 6, which is great because no one activates. And I've got my 3, my gargoyle. I'm going to attack for another 2. Gloria is nearly dead. A 6, which is fantastic. And I'm going to attack my gargoyle again. Bye-bye, Gloria. Perfect. Who's next? I've got Flynn's kicking around. There's 2 adventurers down, 4. So it is Flynn, and he will go 3. So he's going to go 1, 2, and end up here. There's only 2 more dungeon spaces left. Okay, he's going to do 4. There's a chopping blade, and a chopping blade is a column. So we'll roll for that. I need a 1 to 4. I get a 4. He will take a damage for my chopping blade. He's not going to collect anything. He will attack in the column, but there's nothing in that column. You can't attack traps. I got a 1 and a 3. He's not next to anything interesting, so I can't do that. But oh, I probably been cheating with my poison dart because he's got to activate it with a 6. Oh well. I'll have to pick that up later. I forgot about you have to do an activation cost with my dice. I've been a bit liberal with that. I'll forfeit these 2 for this round. Well, I have to keep that in mind next time. Okay. Okay, 6. Fine. I've got a 4 and a 2. And I don't have to activate those. That's right, I don't. Oh, you have to do them to place them. No, they activate automatically. So you discard them to build the trap. It's the abilities that you need to activate, so that's fine. Okay, anyway, onward. So 6 is great for me. I get a 4 and a 2. He's out of range, but I can put a shade down. So heroes cannot attack in a row with 1 or more shades. So I think, is it a row? In a row, that's good. So I'll put 1 down here. Shade is an S. And it doesn't take up one of the green ones. And next turn. Another 6. Such a shame he's not in a place that I could attack him with, unless I put 1 here, which is a bit dangerous. And what's that? That would be a column. I need a row. 3 and a 4. Oh, another thing I didn't say. Your creatures, I've got leftovers from previous games, just a second. Your creatures can be upgraded. And so if you upgrade a horror, a shade, it goes from 1 to 2 to 2 to range of 2. So you have to do the dots. So I'm going to do that actually, because that'll be useful for my next dungeon. So I'm going to use the 4 and the 6 and do an upgrade, because I'm not doing anything else. Because if I can upgrade my horror shade, they become more powerful. Okay, now we get a 2. Oh, that's going to be Finn again. And he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3, and then he will slot all the way down to here. Okay, he's in with a chopping blade, which is column, so that's not going to happen. Oh, he's got poison, so he's going to take 1 when he activates. He's going to attack in the column, so he'll kill the gargoyle, and he'll do 1 to me. And he is in a blind spot of nothing interesting for me, which is a bit of a shame. That being said, he is in a row with a shade, so he's not going to attack. So I'm going to take that back. I ripped off 2. And I'm going to have my Gargoyle back. Not that a Gargoyle can do anything, but hey, because he can't attack because he's in the same row as the shade. So that's kind of handy. Shades attack. Let's see if I can upgrade my shade. So I can have a 3 and a 5, which I use 2 of. So I can upgrade now. So my shades are doing 2 damage. I need to get them to the 2 range. Okay, so that's a 4, which is him again. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to put him here. He won't be able to attack because he's in the same row as a shade, which is super useful. Okay, oh, he's going to collect stuff though. He's going to collect the potion, but he's right next to me. He's underneath. I can bash him. I need a 4, 5, or 6, and I have a 4 and a 6, so I can bash him for 2 because he is in my position, which is great. Okay, a 2, and it'll go to Finn again, and he's going to activate for a 3, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to end up here, which is perfect. So this is good because of that one, he's not going to get out of the way. He is in a poisoned dart, which is a row. Oh, he's already poisoned, so he's going to take 1 damage because he's already poisoned. I'm not going to bother with that again. There's no chopping. He can attack for 1, so he'll kill my shade. He'll kill the Gargoyle, and he'll do 1 damage to me. Because I would have 2 damage to me because he's next to actually Mimi rather than just my sphere, which is a bit of a shame. So what can we do to him? He is in my S, but I don't have a 6, so I can't actually do a slash, which is a bit of a shame because that would have been great because that would cause him to bleed and then he would die. So I'm going to use these to upgrade my shades. I've only got to do it 1 more time and then they will be attacking for 2, but I think we're going to be, it might be over. Oh no, it's going to take a while. 4, he's again. So Myra and Sigrid still hanging about. Flynn is giving another go. So he activates, so he takes a damage. He's going to die by himself. 3, 1, 2, 3. So he's going to be there. He's in a column. He'll pick up the potion, but he's already got the potion. Nothing's going to attack him. He will attack in the column, which is going to do nothing. I've got a 6 and a 2. I'm going to activate, I'm going to use them to just activate my gargoyles because I don't want to place a new gargoyle, because if I place it, that's the only place it could go and that would end the dungeon and that would be bad. Because there's a chance that I might be able to kill, well, he'll kill himself if I get a 4. I get a 3, which is even better. He gets a 4, he activates, and he is dead. Death by poison. I've now got a 2 and a 5, so I can upgrade my shade. So I've killed off 3 adventurers. That being said, the next one will probably end the dungeon. Because we get a 4, which means it's going to be Myra. She's going to go 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Zip, 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 and end up, boom. And, oh, she's a 5, isn't she? So 5, so that will end the first dungeon instantly. Oh, and she will pick up a key because those are the things that are in a column in a row. So then what you would do is, and this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to kind of close it down now. So what we would do then is we would move to the next dungeon, which is the Red Eagle Inn. I would have 5 crystals. So I could say, well, I'm going to put another rune down here. I'm going to have that'll cost me 2. I'm going to put another slash here and another slash here. And I might put another bash in as well. Doesn't leave much space for the last one. And then I would then think about where I want to put myself, thinking about what happened last time, making sure that there's spaces for doing the fun things I want to do. So maybe I put it here. Might be a bit dangerous, but I live dangerously. So we then go like this. And my damage will carry over, so I'm halfway dead. This is getting stronger. I've completely upgraded my shades, so that's pretty good. And when I roll the dice again, either, oh, this one it's going to be 2 dice. So 2 heroes are going to activate. Why don't we do the first turn? See how that goes. Okay, so that's going to be a 2. And since that's a 2, it's going to be Myra, who's going to move 4 from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which will put her to here. And so there's no traps. So then it'll say, roll a die to determine a column and deal 1 to all threats in that column. So we roll the dice, and we get a 3, 1, 2, 3. That's just me. So I'm going to take 2 hits for that, because it actually hits me, which isn't great. Then we would activate the second dice, which would be 3, which would then go to a 5. So it's her again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And she would activate again. Wow, we'd roll the dice for a column. We want a big number. Yeah, that's great. So we get a 5. Doesn't hit me. So that would be my first turn, and we'd carry on. And unless I got a 1, Myra is going to go rampaging through the dungeon, I imagine. Oh, she would have picked up the coin at this point, and yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop it here because it's getting into a long video. Anyway, this is Dungeon Pages Underboss. Very neat. I think that when it comes out and there's going to be bosses and dungeons and groups of heroes that you'll be able to mix and match, replayability is massive. You've got this ability to upgrade, move forward. You get this idea of where you're placed over the dungeon, and you need to think about where you place it, where the green ones are, because that will determine how you move through. I'm pretty hopeful that I'll be able to survive. Anyway, I'll put a link below in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and like.